Hi guys, my name is JP from FSiPanel. On this video I will show you how to make a right-hand visual circuit in Orlando, Florida using FSiPanel. So the first thing to do, I will choose the PMDG 737 for this video. So it's selected here and we will do it in Orlando. So I will select Orlando as the airport. Runway, let's pick 18 right. We have 3,700 meters available, runway elevation 96 feet, and we will have an ILS. So let's take 18 right. And now what we have to do, let's pick the weather as well. So let's see what is the actual weather in Orlando. So we have the wind, let's take this one, is nice. A few cloud at 10,000, 1,000, few cloud 2,900, broken at 4,600, 26 degrees, 3002, looks good. So let's pick up this one here, and it's gonna be at 8:53 in the morning. That's good for me. So we're gonna set the weather, and now we need to set our visual circuit. So let's bring the chart here. This is ILS 18 right. So we'll be doing a right-hand visual circuit here in Orlando. So let's program this in FSiPanel. So I will go to select fix, and here this is what we are looking for, the right-hand pattern. Distance will be 6 miles straight ahead, then it will join 6 nautical miles offset, and we'll be having a 3 miles funnel, which is nice. Altitude for the pattern will be 4,000 feet, so we don't need to change anything here. We will try it like this and see what happens. So move aircraft, and now we press move aircraft here, and we go back to the simulator. Here we go, on it right in Orlando. Now everything will be set for you, so just stand by and we will see how to program our FMS with the company route created by FSiPanel for this visual pattern. During this trimming phase, it's important not to touch anything, so just wait. Now let's see if everything looks good or correct. Let's say on the PFD we should have 3002 for the altimeter setting, which is correct. 4,000 feet is set here for circling altitude. We have RTO set already. We have here the runway heading, which is correct. We have the ILS course, which is there, and we should have flaps 5, which is set as well here. So the only thing we need to do now is to program our FMS. So I will bring my FMS, and to program this circuit we will go to route and we'll type in FSiPanel '01 under company routes, and now it will tell us Orlando to Orlando. That's what we want, so activate, execute. Now if we look into our navigation page, we can see here that we have the circuit is ready. So if I increase a little bit the range, or let's go in the plan page here, so we have a better overview. Here you can see this is the intended circuit that we will do on the runway 18 right. So what we do now, we just need to tell the FMS which runway we're gonna use. So we will go to departure, and I will tell the FMS, okay, we are departing runway 18 right. Execute. Now if I go to my legs page, everything is good, and here you see the last point is FSI runway. So now we can tell the MCDU which runway we will land. So I will go to the arrival here, and we want to do an ILS 18 right. Execute. And now we will replace this runway point by the runway of the FMS, which is this one. So I pick the runway 18 right here, and I will replace my FSI runway here. That's all we need to do. Execute. Now our circuit is programmed, and we also have here now the go around, so we go around to Camby. Now we will go to the init page, 0 fuel weight, reserve, we can put something like 2, cost index doesn't really matter as we will use a fixed speed, so let's put 50. Cruising altitude will match this 4000 that we have here, 4000 feet, set. Transition altitude will not go that high, so we don't need to touch anything. N1 limit, we can derate this takeoff as we are light. And the takeoff page will be flaps 5. Let's see the CG here, 24.6, 5.2 for the trim. And the speed, 146 is V2. FSiPanel has set 147, so we're not too bad. We can just change it to 146. Now if we want to make it easy, we can as well change the VNAV speed if we intend to fly with VNAV. So climb, we see we have a target at 309. It's too fast for a visual circuit, so I will choose 220 knots, which is above the clean speed, so it will be very nice. So 220 knots. Then the cruise speed as well, 220 knots. Execute, and then during the descent as well, I would like to descend at 220 knots. Okay, so now our MCDU or FMS is ready for our flight, so I can turn it off. I will go back here to my map for the flight. Let's see the trim. We're supposed to have 522. So let's have a quick look here if we are good on 522. Yeah, it looks perfect. A little bit more. And here we go. So we are ready now for the circuit. Everything is set. So let's go for a visual circuit and see how it works with FSiPanel, which has programmed the circuit for us here. Alright, let's go. Take off. Brakes are released. About 40%. Stable. Toggle switch. Let's go. Thrust is set. $80 knots. Hold.
V1.
Rotate.
V2.
Positive rate. Gear up. Alright, 400 feet. Select nav. We have LNAV captured. (1,000 feet), we'll go VNAV, and I'll put autopilot on. So now we have N1 LNAV VNAV speed, climbing to 4,000 feet. As you see now, it's set 220 for the climb, so the FMS VNAV has set now 220 knots and we're accelerating. We have a positive vectors touching 1, so we can retract our flaps to 1. Speed check, flaps 1. Alright, now we have the up positive vectors, flap 0, flaps up. Okay, aircraft is clean, climbing to 4,000 feet. We can do the after takeoff, auto brake to off, landing gear off, and the bleeds will keep them on for the short flights. They are already on, and the flaps are up, no lights. Okay, VNAV path at 4,000. Now we'll prepare our approach, so we will do a visual assisted by the ILS to make it easy. 4,000 feet. So what I need to set here is now the minimum for visual. Usually we set 500 feet above airport elevation. So the airport elevation here in Orlando is 96 feet plus 500 will make around 600 feet. So I would set my barrow minimum to 600 feet. Now we are turning on downwind, joining right hand downwind. And we want to set here, sorry, I set 600 feet. Give me some problem to set the minimum here. Okay, 600 feet. Here we go, 600 feet is set. Let's put auto brake to 2 for this approach. Check the speed. Arrival speed, init ref, we take flaps 30 and 148, so we'll have a final approach speed of 153, VRF plus 5. And we are ready. Now we are joining our downwind. We can see here that we are on downwind for runway 18. So what we can do now is look in our FMS, what has been set by FSiPanel. You can see that we will intercept the glide slope at 1900 feet, 3 miles final, about 6 miles here. So this is what we want to set for the VNAV, to have a nice descent. So I will set 1900 here to give VNAV the right to descend to 1900 feet. So it's set. And now we can start to reduce our speed. So I will take command of the speed here by speed interval, and we will take flaps 1. Flaps 1, and we can bug now, bug 1, which is around 191 knots. Now we have in the threshold. We'll reduce the speed further to 180 knots, so we'll go flaps 5. And we'll take the speed at 180 knots. So normally if everything is done correctly by FSiPanel, we should have a very nice glide slope intercept at the right position. So this is to practice just a quick takeoff, quick landing. It's not really a visual circuit that we are doing today. It's more like a quick departure followed by ILS approach. And as you have your go around path in the FMS, you can as well practice the go around, which is very nice, and position yourself back for the landing. So here we'll just do a normal landing. We see here that we have the top of descent. This is where the aircraft will start its descent toward 1900 feet to intercept the glide slope. So we'll see how VNAV is doing that. Here we see now the path is there, and here we have the deviation. If you look on the map, we are exactly correct for descent. This is 30 feet. So now we are perfectly on the path for this ILS approach. Let's see what happened. So now we'll bug 5, which is minimum speed for flaps 5, 171. Turning now onto base. So now gear down, flaps 1.5, speed 160 knots. Which is the minimum speed here for flaps 1.5. We have the gear down, speed brake is armed. Now we have the glide slope here. So if VNAV is doing a good job, they should match at this point here. If everything is running fine, we should have exactly 1900 feet there, and we should be on the glide slope to have the final approach. Let's see how it works. I will let the autopilot in LNAV and VNAV and see how this is working. So we have 1000 to go for 1900, which is our intercept altitude for the glide slope. See, the glide slope is coming now. Clear for the approach, we'll arm the approach, and we have lock and glide slope armed. $2,500, radio altimeter is alive. So now we are about to turn on final. Everything looks good. VNAV is perfectly doing its job. The glide slope is coming. We have 160 knots. We have to be stabilized by 500 feet on the visual approach. We are visual, so we have time for our last flap setting. Everything looks good. Let's see now with the glide slope and localizer intercept. Glide slope is exactly where it's supposed to be. So now we should have a lock and glide slope captured together if everything runs fine. Let's see. Now LNAV will start the right turn toward the runway, and we should intercept localizer glide slope captured. Everything is set. So now we can go for flaps 30 and set the approach 153. As the glide slope is captured, we can set our missed approach altitude. So for this circuit, let's put 3000 feet. Set. And we can do a landing checklist. Engine start switch are still to continuous. Speed brake is armed, landing gear is down 3 grids, and the flaps are 30 set grid. Landing checklist completed, stabilized, and we have the runway in sight. So this is an easy way to practice short flight, takeoff, landings, different weather. It takes like 5-6 minutes to do the flight. You can of course try to reduce the distance, but I think the one by default are very nice because it gives you more time to do your checklist, and you are not no rush. So that's what I suggest you use as a good advice. And if you want to reduce, you're free to do it. And it might be a little bit stressful as well. 1000 feet, stabilize. I'll take the autopilot off and auto throttle off now. Autopilot is off, auto thrust is off. And let's fly this thing down now. Flight director off. We have the flight path vector here. See? This is the flight path vector. If you keep it like this is a 3 degrees descent, so it's very easy to follow the glide slope all the way down to the runway.
Approaching minimums.
Approaching minimum, we are visual already. It's not the IRS minima, it's the minima for a visual circuit, which is 500 feet above airport elevation. slightly high, so I don't overcorrect, otherwise we have a sink rate, which we don't want to have on shot final. So small correction. Oh no, this is way too long. Bad landing, guys, sorry. I didn't fly this plane for a long time. Oh, yo. So don't follow, this is why we train, you see? On the real airplane, this would have ended up in a go-around because I'm way too long for my landing. We have to land in the touchdown zone. This was too long, so 900 meters is acceptable. This was probably 1,100 or 1,200 meters. For this kind of runway it's okay, but still we have to go around in that case. Sorry about that. It's a long time I haven't flown this airplane, and this is why we train, so I will try again now. Thank you for watching. If you have any question, please post your comment below. Thank you for watching, guys. See you next time.